Y'all know what time it is. Touchy Topic Tuesday. We back in the house one more time.
I know.
On a Tuesday where Tuesday is not just for tacos, right?
That's right.
I'm here with Trina Love and also Anthony Wilson, and we got some bomb guests.
Yeah. Author turned Tony Wolf. Author Tony Wolf. Make it right. Make it right.
Real quick. Yeah. We about to get this thing started. Okay.
Didn't mean to touch a nerve over there.
Nah, he like alias. You know what I'm saying? Alias. He got people looking at him on here on live. That's his real name.
Be on point.
Search him out. All right, now we in the house. Who we gonna start with?
Okay, so let me just introduce everyone. I do want to say thank you for tuning in for those who are out there that are live, and thank you for our live audience for the first time. This is our 6th show. Birth. We started in April. We're here the last Tuesday of every month, the 4th Tuesday of every month. So we're happy to do this special edition Stars of the DMV, where we're highlighting and paying recognition to some of the stars of the DMV that's in the area. Also, just feel free, like I told the audience, feel free to ask questions. Marcus, do we have the call-in capability? Okay, we don't have the call-in on this one, but for those who are tuning in on Facebook, social media, feel free to leave your comments. And let's get it started. So first of all, on the end over there, we have my brother, Badly Boy. Hold on for just a second. Is it live on there? Oh, okay.
That's his phone.
Oh, okay. It's on.
So you gonna introduce me or?
It's on there.
We have technical difficulties up here right quick. We about to get started.
Unless it should be.
Technical difficulties. Okay, everybody in the
So we have Badly Boy over there. He is a Air Force veteran. He's a business guy. He's such a great business guy. He's one of my mentors. So, I'm proud to have him on the show. He has Ascension. His company is Ascension Events. They do the Brixton over on 8th Street every Wednesday, a nice rooftop event. U Street, I'm sorry. Every Wednesday, and it is a nice rooftop event. Hello, Mr. Wilbur. Hello. Man, that is the VP of Mix Station. But yeah, I'm happy to have Badly Boy. And then we have Mr. Chad Eric Smith here. Chad has been doing a lot of stuff. I mean, they're going to tell you what they've been doing, but he's won several awards for his movie productions. He's a awesome actor. He's well versatile in a lot of things. And then we have Mr. Malik Pollard over here. I don't know where to start with him. He just does Mad Flavor TV. I love his graphics because he's designed my logo for Love's Enterprises and does some flyers, but he'll tell you what he does. It's just so many things, great things that he does. And then we have Miss Exquisite over here, Miss Lisa Gale, and she'll talk to you. I'm so proud of you, Lisa.
Wow.
It's beautiful, Lisa Gale. So I thank all of you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to be a part of our show, our special show.
Yeah, thanks for having us, for sure.
Yeah. So shall we do ladies first, gentlemen?
Yeah, of course. We do ladies first. Cool. There's no other way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your mic on?
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Okay, we good. Okay. Good evening, kings and queens. How y'all doing this evening? First, I want to say thank you very much for inviting me to be a part of this panel discussion. I'm excited to see what the discussion is going to be like. My name is Lisa Gale. I am Miss Exquisite Full Figure DMV 2018, representing the plus and curvy community. And yes, plus model, curvy model, advocate for self-care awareness, focusing on positivity. My platform during the pageant was that, and my belief system is that if you do not take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. If you've ever been on an airplane and you get that ho hum, here's the emergency routine, and they tell you you got to put that oxygen mask on your face first before you can take care of anybody else. This is what you have to do for yourself. We live in a society where it's literally gone past microwave into warp speed, and we're ripping and we're running, and we're taking care of our parents, and we're taking care of our kids and our grandparents, but we're not taking care of ourselves. You cannot pour anything from an empty pitcher. You can't serve anybody. So that's what my focus is. That's what my passion is. My passion is encouraging, uplifting, and motivating others in word, in deed, in action. Sometimes you just have to show up. And when you show up, you get great opportunities, like this weekend, where a friend called and said, hey, my volunteers ain't show up, I need some help, right? Well, I got to just volunteer for the Power of Fashion weekend. I got to meet some special people. I got to hang out with Oprah's makeup artist. So you never know when an opportunity is presented to you, what's going to become of that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to be here, I should say. And I'm turning it back over to you guys.
Most definitely. We are honored, Miss Lisa Gill.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Mr. Malik.
Flash with a little bit of flash.
Oh, yeah.
You
That
look
means it's
beautiful,
my
by
turn.
the way.
Well, I'm Malik Pollard, the executive producer for Mad Flavor Television Show. We are entertainment magazine show through Verizon Fios, Xfinity. We're streaming on Roku through Indie Central TV. So throw your Fire Sticks away, get you a Roku. It does everything a Fire Stick can do without all the restrictions. So no. Pretty much my start, I've been doing that show for probably 15 plus years. Originally I just created the show just because I was looking for individuals who were very talented, looking for a way for them to be able to showcase their talent. So we started off doing a comedy show, and we had comedians like T.L. Fitz, Laughing Lenny, Skiba, a whole lot of them. So we did a comedy show, and then we started getting these interviews with celebrities, and their publicists would be like, yo, where's that interview? So we created Mad Flavor TV, and that's how that spun off. So I've been doing that for a long time. I also do cinematography as well. I worked on a lot of TV shows. Used to work at BET when they was right over there in Brentwood. And also did Anacostia, which is on right now. I worked with Anthony Anderson on that. Worked on a lot of movies. So, and I'm basically, anytime I see people moving and doing things, I try to build relationships. It's all about exposing this DMV area, and I'm glad to see that a lot of things are happening. We've seen a lot of productions that are happening. Just had a movie that was on BET that was shot here. So I'm very proud of that, Angrily Ever After.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's big. That's really big.
So anytime I see something like that, I gravitate toward. Like, I've known Lavelle. We've seen each other for probably the last 15 years, and then to see him doing this thing. So that's what it's all about. And that's my story. That's what I do.
That's awesome.
All right. We got next.
We got Mr. Badley Boy over here.
One time, check 1 2. So my name is Daryl Badley. They call me Badley Boy. Well, that's my name actually, right?
Yeah.
From Cleveland, Ohio. Represent. I've been in D.C. for 17 years of my entire existence. I am founder of the Life Helpers. I'll get into the organization in a second. I'm co-founder of Ascension Events, and I'll get that into a second. I am Air Force veteran. I'm actually still active. I'm a reservist in the Air Force.
Woohoo! Hoorah, Air Force. Yes.
I'll definitely get into that in a second. But so we'll just start about me. So I'm one of those people who is passionate about anything I step into. So I think in life, anybody and everybody in this room, once you figure out your why, you need to be way more passionate than anything else. If you use your kids as your why, or family as your why, or just getting better in life as your why, you need to be way more passionate and just go for it. So we'll start off with the Life Helpers. I started the Life Helpers only because, which is an organization, thelifehelpers.org. You can go to that. I started the Life Helpers because I was doing parties and doing events and doing community stuff and speaking and mentoring, and people was like, hey, how do I get you some funds to try to do this? I'm like, well, I don't need no funds. We're just going to go out here and do this. They're like, no, you need to get an organization. You want some funds? And I said, well, what's the name going to be? So I just, long plane ride back from Dallas, I just figured out what it was going to be, how it was going to affect it, and I just figured out if you get a community of people together, we're all life helpers. So I came up with that name on that fashion. So Life Helpers, our goal and mission is to affect the lives of millions in a positive way. It doesn't matter if we get a young group of boys and girls to open doors and greet people, because greeting is a problem in our community. People don't understand it, don't look at each other in the eye, don't shake each other's hand firm, don't speak with clarity. I mean, I have a little problem with that too, but but speaking with clarity, looking in the eyes, and shaking the hands is a big step forward in getting whatever you want in life and just getting ahead, period. So we just got off of an initiative. Actually, we're still collecting shoes. 13,000 pairs of shoes we collected since last January. So I'll give a round of applause to some of these people in the room that helped out. 13,000 pairs of shoes. So we partnered with Souls for Souls on that and they give it back to all poverty, even nationally and internationally. So it's just not, the shoes are not just going internationally. Coming next month, we're launching the Angel Tree program, which some of the people were part of that. So we're relaunching the DMV Angel Tree program from 2019. My goal is always ambitious and out there, but we want to do 500 kids from Baltimore all the way down to Richmond. So it'll really truly be DMV Angel Tree to DMV full in its full effect. But we're going to need everybody's help. We're going to need everybody to go out there and say, hey, look, can you or do you need help? If you need help, please go here to register. Because what we don't want is people to be like, well, you getting it for all these people. You ain't even serving nobody in your community. Well, these are people in the community. They just bowing down and humbling themselves saying, I need help. And let me go here and get that. And the people of the community say, hey, let me help by providing something. So that's one thing. The Life Helpers is just a great organization, so follow us on all social media platforms. Now, Ascension Events, which Badly Boy came to be, and the shirt came to be, I partnered with Dion Michelle because we wanted to actually bring something different to the community as far as events, networking, movie premieres, something different. So we started that last year, and we've been able to do the grand opening of the Topgolf. Everybody knows what Topgolf is, so we did the grand opening day party there. It was a great networking event. It was some stars there, some who, and just people of influence, and then just people like us, like, hey, look, I might not be of influence to nobody, but we're going to come out here and party and have a good time for a purpose, right? And then we also do the Brixton on U Street. We give people a little different environment like that. But check us out on social media, all our networks. I don't really want to bog them no time. I'll just give you one last thing about me. I am an Air Force veteran. I've been serving for a minute. I take joy in that because I got out and came back after 10 years to reserve because I felt that our youth needed a little bit more nurturing from somebody that wanted to give that all. So I'm serving in so many capacities right now, but the main thing about life is to stay humble about it and just keep on working. So I appreciate time being here. Anybody got any questions about any of that? That's cool. I'll answer anything and continue on from there. Thanks.
That's good. That was good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yes, thank you.
So we want to just thank all our guests for coming out today. It it was something that you said earlier in your dialogue about what you said about your why. And you kind of said your why, but I like to hear everybody's why because, like you said, your why should be your passion. You know, if you don't have a why, then you don't understand why you do what you do. And there's a lot of people out here that's doing things and just don't understand why they do what they do. So definitely, we'd definitely like to hear your whys. We're gonna start with you.
Yeah. Oh damn! Can y'all hear me? Okay. Kind of loud. Well, first of all, my name is Chad Eric Smith, and I'm a lot of things. I'm a DC native, born and raised. Thank you. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm also an actor, a screenwriter, a director, producer, musician. Sometimes I do stand-up if I have some brown liquor in me. But I'm really just very passionate about storytelling. When people ask me, how am I doing? I say I'm keeping my head above water and making a wave when I can. And when people say, what are you doing? I say I'm catching up to my future self. Right? I create my own content. My directorial debut a few years ago was a short film called Dark Therapy, which you can watch on Facebook, 8-minute short film about a vampire with an irrational fear of blood who seeks psychiatric treatment, and his therapist
really
prescribes him mumbo sauce. Yeah, so I'm playing a vampire who loves mumbo sauce. You get it? Yeah, see? But that was a lot of fun. I'm a character actor, so I always change my appearance for every role that I do. And so that was a process of being in the makeup chair for like an hour and a half. Got a lace front wig, acrylic nails, white eyes. It's pretty crazy, but actually working on a sequel on that right now. Some of my inspiration comes from character actors like Jeffrey Wright, Johnny Depp, Gary Oldman. So my film after that was called Rumination. That film has been at over 30 film festivals across the country and has won over 20 awards. It's a film about amazing. A short. You like that?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, Rumination is about a heartbroken man who travels into the past for a second chance at a failed relationship. And that film was inspired by my own personal experience with heartbreak. Hey, for sure. And I turned my pain into art, And so I found that the more specific you are in your storytelling, the more universal you tend to be. And so the film did very well. Right now it's on Quelle TV, which is a 100% black-owned streaming platform. So you can rent it there. And right now I'm in post-production on a film called Fatherless. I co-produced and star in. And Fatherless was written and directed by a guy named William M. Crouch, who shot it in Kentucky. And in it I play a young physicist who, with the troubled past, who develops time travel in order to go and fix his childhood. So, as you can tell, I kind of like genre pieces, sci-fi, horror, comedy, stuff like that. And I do a mean Obama impersonation. So if y'all ever need like an Obama voicemail, well, I'd hate for you to.
About the Cosby one too?
I do it since you want me to do it so bad. God damn. Just making stuff up, man. Okay, here goes. Ready? Here, for you. I do it for you. Here's the thing. Last night, me and Michelle were talking about how we as Americans need to do better. So, if anyone ever tells you you can't do something, you tell them something that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, goddammit. Yes, you. Yes, you motherfucking can. So, but that's my intro.
Ooh, that's good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you.
Start with the why.
Yeah. Why?
Okay. My why is a bit personal, and I have to be transparent. So, I know what it. My why is to talk to the woman who is afraid to be herself. My favorite piece of poetry is by Maya Angelou, and it's called The Butterfly. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely acknowledge the changes one must go through to achieve that beauty. And so I'm blessed with good looks. I have great genes. Thank you, God. Thank you, Mom and Dad. However, growing up, I believed the lies that says you're fat, you're unattractive, nobody will ever want you. And so I learned how to hide behind a mask. I hid behind my children. I hid behind the church. I hid behind working crazy hours for years and years and years. And I did not acknowledge that I was afraid. I was afraid to blossom. I was afraid to bloom. I was afraid to be my individual, unique self because I was too busy trying to be accepted, a people pleaser, all of that. I hid behind sweatpants, t-shirts, a ponytail, unkept, frumpy. And I had to make a hard decision in life that caused me to kind of spiral. And I broke down. And when I broke down, I promised myself I would never get that way again. And so, actually, it's funny. Part of my healing process and journey, I just started gravitating towards Facebook groups that had positive messages, were very supportive, and fun. And quite honestly, my breakthrough with my self-identity came when there was a project for a coffee table book and why you felt that you were over 40 and fabulous.
That is great. That's
And
great.
so I talked to my kids because it was personal.
Yeah.
I talked to my kids, and I was like, okay, is this cool? Because I'm going to be sharing. I'm not giving details, but I'm sharing part of our family history. And they were like, cool. Well, there were so many submissions, they accepted everybody, and that scared me to my toes. Because then I had to follow through. And, I was like, oh, okay. And the funny thing was every photo shoot, I got sick. Something happened. But I wanted to complete the process. And I did. And I wanted to prove to myself that I'm beautiful. I am fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. It doesn't matter what anybody says because I know what I believe.
That's right.
And so I just I started modeling. And it's funny, I had to go outside of the DMV to come back into the DMV to be accepted. But
That part.
Really, really is
That
why
part.
you're
That
here. Right.
that part.
That part.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
But and my healing continued through that process. And so my why is to talk to the perfectly imperfect person that we all are. And to encourage, to uplift, to inspire, and to touch those that were like me, that hid behind a mask. Because I could hide. I could smile, I could show up, I could laugh, I could dance. You would never know anything was wrong. And then I would go home and hide and cry and,
We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. Paul
Right.
Lawrence Dunbar.
Yes.
Love it.
And so the mask is off.
I see.
The mask is off.
You are glowing.
We can. That definitely needs a
Okay.
hand.
You are
I
glowing.
mean, someone invited me to audition for this pageant, Miss Full Figure DMV. And if you don't know, now you know.
Right.
every year we crown 3 new queens. We just crowned 3 new queens in August. And when I tell you it's a sisterhood, it's a sisterhood. We're not perfect, but we love and support each other like nobody's business. And so, anyway, I lost my train of thought. But I said all that to say is all of us, at one point in our life or other, we go through challenges that are meant to break us down and to crush us. But according to the word I read, it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadows of
You
death.
ain't stopped.
You're not supposed to stop. You're not supposed to get stuck. You're supposed to keep moving. And so that's my why I'm keeping moving. I want to be an example to my daughter. I want to shout out to Jazzy Jars.
Yes.
Sweet treats, y'all.
It is delicious.
Yeah.
I want to be an example to my sons of what a proud black woman looks like, and how you are supposed to treat a queen. And so, for those that are like me, hiding behind that mask, hiding behind your clothes, hiding behind your job, whatever you're hiding behind, come on out. Come on out. Be yourself. Be your unique self. Be your beautiful self. God made us all different for a reason. The world would be boring if we were all the same. We would be cookie cutter shapes. Who wants that? I love everyone. Doesn't matter shape, size, color, race, nationality. He created us for a reason. So my why and my purpose is to encourage others.
Wow, that's
Oh, that's
powerful.
right.
That's powerful. And Malik, I'm not going to say much to take much time, but I just want to say to everyone, there's some other stars sitting over there on the couch, Mark and Tia. I love y'all, but the people that are on this panel, both sessions, they inspired me personally. They inspired me because went through some things, and they've always been there, and I see them, out there grinding, and they still stay the same person. They still were genuine, and that's why I was like, I had to talk to them about being on the show, and I'm very honored to have them. Thank you. And thank you. That was
Appreciate it.
beautiful,
Thanks.
Lisa.
Right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
My why has changed from when I originally started. It's funny. I'm listening to Lisa talk, and Lisa is part of my why, because that project that she spoke of, Fabulous Over 40, was a project that myself, Mike Ware, who's a photographer, and some other great photographers worked on, and we were looking for women that we knew were beautiful inside and outside, and we wanted them to share their story. So that has always been, she's an example of my why when I started 15 years ago, like I
beautiful.
said, because
Beautiful.
I graduated Morgan State. I graduated with a degree in Golden Bears. I graduated with a degree in computer information systems, and this was not the path that I thought I was going to take, but it was my passion. And a friend of mine who worked at BET helped me to realize what my passion was, and the creative, like you said, the creative side that was there. And so at that time, there wasn't any social media. There wasn't a lot of the things that we have now. So to break into the entertainment business, especially from DC, was damn near impossible. And so I created that lane, and then I started to grab people and pull them along with me, And I would tell them, Mad Flavor is your start, not your end. This is to build your resume to go on and do other things. Lisa went on to do other things. Gabrielle Dennis, who you may or may not know, but she played Whitney Houston in the Bobby Brown story that was on BET. She's been on Luke Cage. She just was on a Black Lady sketch show. She was a Howard University student, and I pulled her along And when she said, I'm going to L.A., I pushed her out, you know. And those are the stories that make me feel proud. And that was my why then. Then I got married, had kids. I kind of tabled Mad Flavor for a couple years. And when I really just started back up in January. And I really thought I was going to have to start all over. All those contacts, all those people were going to be gone. And I was amazed at how many doors opened up and how quickly they opened. But what I'm most proud of, and what I think my why is now, is to use my platform for something greater. I've been doing a lot of events and meeting a lot of people. I met Cheryl at a kickball game for suicide prevention and mental health. And it's funny, 2 weeks before that, I was sitting on a red carpet for the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, Taraji P. Henson, about mental health. Then I went to another event about mental health, and I was like, okay, God, you're telling me something. And one of the things that it told me was, because my son has learning disabilities and has mental challenges, it told me that I need to start using my gift to do something else. And so now my why has changed a little bit, and I've actually talked to Miss Linda about how can I get more involved with suicide prevention, because there was a time where I thought my son was possibly going to commit suicide. Being transparent, he had been admitted to a psychiatric institute twice. And so those things just don't happen by mistake. You don't meet those people just, by happenstance. There's a reason. And so my why has kind of changed. Now what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, what steps do I need to take? I've thought about, do I do a documentary? What do I do? I actually pitched a documentary to First Baptist Church of Glenarden because they're doing some wonderful things. They had a film that came out called Sinners Wanted. And so like I said, a lot of stuff is happening in that space, in this area, which is great. And so I reached out to them about what is the church doing as far as mental health and suicide and stuff like that. And I want to bring Miss Linda and Lawrence Law to the church so they can have that conversation. I want to bring Taraji to the church. I mean, that church is huge. We know where they are. So I feel like I'm kind of like the plug. But even if that doesn't happen, I know I need to be doing something in that space. So that's my why right now. I'm still doing Mad Flavor because what it was 15 years ago, it still is now. It opens up doors, and once that door is open, I'm telling people walk through. I'm going to hold it for you. But now, I'm being a little selfish. I'm going to start walking through that door myself. And so, that's my why.
Absolutely.
I was sitting there listening to you, and you said it was Mad Flavor. Then you started talking about mental health, and mental health is very, very it's a topic now across America. And I was going to tell you, I never heard of Mad Flavor, and I was mad at you because you ain't never put me on. So now we know each other. Plug me in.
I will tell you this. I've had so many hosts because, again, anybody who's interested, anybody who it's their passion, and like I said, it's a start and not the end. So come on.
I wanted to say something that on top. We was talking about passion. I think my why is that I'm just really passionate about storytelling. I just think that when you can entertain and enlighten possibly at the same time, you can really reach. And I think what comes from the heart enters the heart. You can really move people. So I'm passionate about storytelling, and I am perpetually inspired. Like I look at the world. I'm a people watcher. I'm always looking, and I see things. I see stories. I see irony. I see those things, and I try to put it into my storytelling. I wanted to share with you a quote that I share with people all the time that I love. And it's on this theme about passion and being on the right path and being on the path that you're supposed to be on. And it's by Denzel Washington. He said, "True desire of the heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent beforehand to indicate that it's yours already." I'll say that one more time. True desire in the heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent beforehand to indicate that it's yours already. The reason why when people say, what are you doing, what are you up to, I tell people I'm catching up to my future self, because I truly believe that my future self is out there doing big things, and I'm just going through the stages and phases and psychological mazes, guiding you upward to stepping stones to a higher place of mind, right? And so I'm excited about the prospect. It gives me comfort knowing that, I'm on the stage with my Oscar right now. In the future, you know what I mean?
That's right.
When Marty McFly went to the future, he was able to do that because it was there. You know what I mean? Some people believe that the future doesn't exist because it hasn't happened yet. But nah, we're manifesting it, All is mind. And that's how I really believe. I really believe that you can manifest whatever you want. And if you're passionate about something, then God already made that for you in the future. You're just catching up to your future self.
I appreciate you
Yes.
for that confirmation. I really appreciate that confirmation because everybody I meet say I'm famous.
Please.
Oh, I don't never say I'm famous. I'm just me.
I didn't say I was famous. I say they say I was famous, right?
So he's Joseph tonight, but definitely everybody on the panel. I mean, really, I enjoy hearing exactly what you all are doing right now. It's actually inspiring to hear that not just that your passion, but also your gifts are creating lanes to help motivate and encourage and also uplift other people. And that's really what it's all about, for real, because at the end of the day, we all got fingerprints. Everybody got fingerprints. And our fingerprints, we look at them and sometimes we feel like, maybe if I break some law, they can catch me if I got my fingerprints. If I ain't have ID and I got found and I lost my life or something, they can identify me. But, maybe at the end of the days, maybe it's that when we go stand before God, God will look at us and see all the people that pass by here, look at our fingerprints on their life and see how we affected them. So we definitely can see how your fingerprints are definitely in the DMV, truly. It's definitely, and definitely you really, and both of y'all, matter of fact, you really probably told a lot of people's story, man and female. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, I believe, I've seen so many people that get caught up in a crowd that they never find out who they are. They're just always trying to fit in and never know their identity. So you got grown people still acting like children because they never realized who they really are and never grew into who they were supposed to be. So, and then they create this false facade and then they walk around and then at the end of the day they never know who they are, and then actually it's just a life wasted, for real. It's a life that never even got an opportunity to bloom and become as unique as it was created to be, to affect everybody that came in contact. And then on top with you, like you said, with that mental health piece, actually today, and I'm quite sure, but she put it on social media, she probably wouldn't mind me saying it, but actually Jay Mathis was actually saying she's trying to create something right now to actually help those that are in that space. Because she had her testimony she shared specifically about what she endured and what she went through in her own instances. So that's probably somebody who you need to connect to right now too. But with that being said, mental illness is very prevalent in our community. It's a lot of people, and this is something that is really sad because it's a lot of people that's doing time right now that's going into the institutions, and they really are supposed to be in mental health institutions, but they really in institutions, regular prison institutions, and they're not getting properly treated, but yet we've been stigmatized. They've been stigmatized by, they just this way or that come out of the community. But now the light is being shown, and in fact, I'm a peer recovery specialist, so I help in that space as well. I understand the need for that, and then my brother on the end down here, like you said, our youth, that's what me and this guy right here on this, we got a non-profit called Fully Restoring Every Son's Hope, and we deal with at-risk youth as well as helping individuals that's returning back to the community as well. So definitely, man, it's definitely important. And for you, storytelling, man, one thing about storytelling, man, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, is that you can create a reality, and then you can take that reality and put it before somebody else, And how many know when you create a good book or a good movie, man, everybody gonna go see it. But yet at the same time, you putting your dream into somebody else's mind, and then it's creating life in theirs because that's inspiring them. So I just want to shut down right there and say I appreciate everything that y'all just now shared, and it's so that y'all are making an impact.
Yes, most definitely.
Thank you.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
thank you.
We have some
Well
definitely
said.
great people and life changers up here. Like I said, all of you all inspire me and have gotten me through the last 2 years, like since I've known you all. I just want you to know that in your ways. So thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. And I would like to open up questions to the audience if you had anything to ask our guest or, any comments. The floor is open.
I got a question for my man here, right? Because I love what he's doing. What inspired you to do what you're doing, and who are the people in society that you impact?
Oh, what inspired me? So I'll just give you one story, an example. So I was young, and my mom used to, middle class, lower middle class, and we used to, everybody, raise your hand if you ever went to the thrift store as a child, that type of thing, right? Right. So we used to just go, right. Look, we used to go to the thrift store, and we used to go, and one of her favorite things is like yard sales and all that stuff, but we'll get into that in a second. But so we used to go to different places, and then one day she grabbed these bags of clothes and pulled up at this house, and I'm like, well, what are we doing here? We always giving and stuff. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, I just sat in the car, like, big old station wagon. Like, what? Why she dropping these bags off at this house? And so when she came out, I was like, Mom, where we at? Whose house is this? Is it cousin's house? Somebody, auntie? No, she was like, oh, no, this is a women's shelter. This is for battered women. I was like, oh, my mama will be giving back? So from there on, like when I was young, I was like, oh, well, life is all about that. You really, really, truly don't get nowhere unless you're giving back or providing something to uplift somebody. Like Malik said, I'm pulling you in, I'm pushing you out. So I've been through my trials and tribulations in life, but I've always been that person that says, I'm not going to party without a purpose. I'm not going to give somebody some positive knowledge, and I'm not going to seek for that knowledge and that purpose. Because I have to have mentors, and I have to have people that influence me also. No matter if I just see somebody, like listening to somebody on a panel, no matter if it's like a YouTube channel, somebody can say like 2 words or 2 sentences, and it might take you a long way. I know a guy that went to a seminar. He paid $10,000 for the seminar, right? He went to the seminar. It was a week long. He said he went to the first speaker. The first speaker gave him enough knowledge. He said he left that day, and he's a millionaire to this day, based off of them one little words and that one little time for 30 minutes, listen to somebody speak. So
What'd he say?
I don't know what he said. He just said that he listened to him, and go with your heart. Follow whoever you follow with your religion wise, and just drive that. But yeah, that's my motivation, is to give back. My mom created that and instilled that in me. My dad just drove the vehicle like all men be doing. He drove the station wagon. My mom just like directed it silently because she's one of them silent, humble women, and I just took that and just blossomed out from there.
All right, radio silence, real quick. Radio silence. All right, so this is what I'm gonna ask next. All right, we got the why, we got the reason why everybody's doing the impact that you all are making, right? So now we got the why. Now I want to know what's next.
I can start. Or you wanna start, Lisa? I can start. Well, I'm gonna be honest. What's next is I got to get up off my ass because I identified my why.
Okay.
So I got to get up off my ass and really start moving. Like I said, I got cameras, I got everything.
Right.
So, initially I was waiting for someone to bring a story to me.
Confirmation.
Let me just shoot it. But I have stories. You know, like I said, you know, I pitched to Glenard, you know, and they sounded interested, but I pitched to them probably 6 months ago, probably back in May. And so I just kind of sat and waited for them to say, yeah, let's do it. So I can just pick up the camera. All right, let's go. And so now I know I need to, what's next is just create it, you know, link up with either storytellers and let's figure it out so that so it can get created. That's what's next. One of the things going through this journey is like I said earlier, I work on other people's projects as a camera person, director, first AD, everything. You know, I've done lights, color, editing, everything. But when it's their project, it's their project. I don't have any control of where it's going next, what's going to happen to it. If it happens to get picked up, I might have got them there, but they don't necessarily pull you along with them. So I got some stories, I got some things, and so now, like I said, now that I'm going to walk through those doors, I'm going to start walking through those doors. I'm tired of waiting for other people to create my opportunity. So I know now I have to create my opportunity. I've waited for you long enough. And don't be mad that I've decided to start walking. Because at some point, I got to start walking for me.
That's it.
That's right.
So that's what's next for me.
That man getting out the boat. I want to know how many other people getting out the boat with him. Nah, seriously,
Just
he
you-
about to
you-
walk. He about to
you
get out the boat
You
for real.
just self the title of your journey is I waited long enough.
Yeah.
It's on.
Okay, well, you know what? Let me just jump right on in here.
Trade mics with Trey.
Well,
Hello? Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to piggyback off that because I just think it's so important that you all really let that hit home how important it is to write and or produce your own content, you know, and to have control of your own content. Now, I've been an actor for over 15 years, you know, acting in different projects. But the most empowering thing I've done in the last 5 years or so was to write my own roles. Because actors, you know, we're at the mercy of other people's yeses. So the vampire character, for example, who's afraid of blood but loves mumbo sauce, that's an original, unique idea that would not have come across in the casting call. And it's the type of juicy role that probably would have gone to a white actor, right? You know, such a quirky character. You don't really see character actors like that with black people. So I said, let me go ahead and write it. And I saw this interview with Jonah Hill, and he said exactly my sentiments. He said that actors are seen, but writers are heard, right? So it feels very gratifying to play a character that I actually wrote. And so I have a production company called Duke Productions, and I produced my film Rumination. I was 100% executive producer of that film. And so anytime that there is revenue from it, I get all of it, you know? And it's nice to know that I have ownership of my own content. And so so right now I'm in the distribution phase of that. Last week I actually signed a 3-year worldwide distribution deal with Puff Daddy's the network Revolt TV for my vampire comedy Dark Therapy.
congratulations.
Yeah, so it'll be
That's
on
nice.
Revolt TV, premiering television nationally on October 18th, which is awesome. I just found them from the DC office of television, internet, movies, video, music, entertainment. I know I messed up the acronym real bad just now, but I forget which letter goes first. But they have selected me as the DC filmmaker of the month. Of October.
Congratulations, Chad.
And so
That's nice.
yeah, so you know, so that's happening at the same time that I got this distribution deal. I'm in again post production on this film called Fatherless that I'm a co-producer and star of, and we're gonna hopefully have it in the film festival circuit next year. And my last 2 films were at the Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival, which is now an Oscar qualifying festival. So we're gonna try to go there again next year. So these are things that I put into motion working with other putting a lot of emphasis on writing and producing the content. You can own the content and have some stake in it, because this is show business. And while the show part is a lot of fun, because I'm a creative, the business part is very important as well. So my production company is a limited liability company, a LLC, that makes sure that I can keep my taxes in order and things like that, and make sure that I separate myself from my company. And those are the things I'm learning as I go. But it's not just enough to be able to characters and to write them. You have to know what to do with it business-wise. And so that's why I've been putting a lot of emphasis on making sure I copyright my stuff, making sure that I go through the right proper channels, that I see who does it right, and try to follow in those footsteps, but also create my own lane and catch up to my future self.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
So I'll take the hand on this one. Already said what's next. So the Angel Tree program, DMV Angel Tree program that we were part of 2 years ago, we're just actually putting that on steroids and doing 500 kids. So look out for that launch. I'll be leaning on Trina Love. I'm leaning on everybody from the community to get the word out about if some people need help, families in need, to reach out to go apply so we can get them some help for the holidays. It's all about giving back to the community 100-fold, 1,000-fold, because you never know who you're going to affect and where they are. So that's why I love the Angel Tree program, is because you never meet the family, but you paint this picture, this story of this young boy or this young girl by their name and kind of toys and what size they wear. And you just want to be like, oh, you know what, I wish this Lisa or John or Mark or whoever the case may be, I just picture them on the holidays being so happy because I gave back or provided this gift. So you truly are an angel. So that'll be coming up. And we're going to have a big event for that. That's going to be a real big event.
Hey, Bailey. So 2 years ago when you did that, no lie, because I think I took like 50 or whatever, because you put that challenge out, and I'm always up for a challenge.
Right.
All the women on my team wanted young kids, so they can go shopping. I don't know if they was having baby fever or what.
Oh yeah,
they
absolutely.
wanted to go
Absolutely.
shopping. They wanted to get them little onesies and
wanted-
all that.
They wanted about that. A lot of the females was like, "Oh, I want little Mark next year and the year after." I'm telling you how you know.
Yeah, I gotta admit,
Can we meet
it was
them?
a fun time though.
It was a great time.
You brought people together. We went live in Walmart. We got
200
together.
kids,
We
200
wrapped the
kids.
gifts, and
Yeah, so it
we
was,
dropped them off at Salvation Army. It was just like
it was
a great
a whole
experience.
total event. I went from 4 kids 2 years before that to 75 kids to 200 kids, and I skipped a year. Last year, just because I was collecting shoes, I was like, I can't do 2 campaigns at one time. This is too much. And then this year, we're going to break it off and actually do 500. So we're going to make that goal, and we're going to accomplish that. So just check us out, dlifehelpers.org, and we'll reach out to everybody that's associated with this program and everybody else associated with them to get involved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mentorship is so important. I just want to emphasize that. Yeah.
We'll get your next real quick because we about to wrap this session up.
Okay, I'll make it quick.
No.
My next is purely and totally selfish. It is. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about what am I going to do next to inspire myself, to inspire others. And so, again, part of that self-care is knowing when to unplug, regenerate, regroup, and plug into the power source. So my immediate next is to do just that, to unplug and regenerate so that I can come back out with a little more force and power and explore those things that I put on the back burner for, I'm not ashamed to say I am 56 years old.
What?
I thought you was that girl over there, sister. You called your daughter.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
That's awesome.
My children are all creatives. My sons are starting to do music, not starting, they're continuing to do music. My daughter's branching out into her own business. I want to be supportive. I want to be available for them. I don't want to be so busy that I can't support them. That's one thing. The other thing I want to do is really create an empowerment group. Not just to, I'll say it this way, years and years and years ago, when my family was struggling, and it was my son's birthday, and we ain't had no money. It was rough. I had a group of friends who just called and said, "Hey, are you home?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm home." They brought the birthday party, they brought the birthday cake, they brought the food, they brought the gifts, they brought the atmosphere, everything. My son never knew that I could not afford to give him a little something for his birthday, because they did that for my family. It's something I'll never forget. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to do that for someone else. And so I have to unplug so I can do my research and, do those kind of things. So that's what I want to do. I want to regenerate so I can give back.
That's what's up.
Great.
That's what's up.
Nice.
Very, very powerful.
That's what's
Well,
up. Go ahead, Trina.
I was just going to say, we are, running out of time. We do have 4 other guests that's coming up, but, I'm just so happy that you all came to the show and to hear a little bit more about your stories. I mean, I kind of knew a little bit, just getting to know you all, but, I mean, you all really inspired, I bet, the whole room with your stories, so thank you.
And if you want to connect with these people, I'm sure that we're going to place their information and how you can get in touch with them, so you can reach out to them and you can join whatever they're doing in the community, so you can have an impact as well as an input into what's happening in the DMV. So we definitely thank y'all for coming on and being up here with us and being on this panel.
Yes,
And I mean, I've already heard all the praise out there from, I heard somebody, and I don't know why women always do this. Yes. You know what I'm saying? When they know what's something good, like, yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I done already heard that. So right.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you for, inviting me to come. This is awesome. It's amazing. It helps you to get your story out. And I just love you dearly.
Thank you. I love you too. From day one. From day one.
Yeah, that's right. Day one.
I appreciate your support always.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I
Yes.
want to thank my daughter for coming and my
Yes,
other
thank you.
daughter for coming.
Thank you for
And I wanna
that good banana pudding.
And thank you for that. No, it's not regular banana. Y'all keep saying banana
yes.
pudding. It's snickerdoodle banana pudding.
Snickerdoodle.
It's bomb. Let me tell you
It
right now.
is.
Look,
It is.
I ain't never going to Forrestville Big Cookie no more. I'm going to give me some snickerdoodle banana pudding from now on. You hear me? So you need to follow her, Jazzy Jaws and Sweets, on Instagram. I'm already following. I posted it.
Yes.
Right now, it's in my
You got some
belly,
skills
and I was like, I
there.
looked at the cane, I was like, get in my belly. It was like, dang, that thing was like that.
Right.
I'm
Yes.
telling you, because Tuesdays ain't just for tacos, it's for chicken and bowls like that. I ain't like shoes.
I know. The other thing, I just wanted to honor the sister queen who came out to support as well. She's, she didn't bring her crown, and so I was like, "Where's your crown, queen? Where's your crown?"
She said, "I'm having a drink
Oh,
tonight."
she said it's right here. It's right
it's
here.
like that.
okay.
It's like that, but she gonna have that drink.
Well,
first.
yeah, I gotta take my crown and my sash off so I can have one too. So
Yes.
you gotta
Yes,
keep
you've already
things
done your interview.
in decency and in order.
Okay.
Yeah, I just followed you. Jazzy Jars and Sweets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Follow her.
Follow,
It
yeah.
is delicious.
Sound
Delicious.
good.
Can I say one last thing? So I'm gonna leave with this. I need everybody in this room to try to be less busy and more productive, because people always say they're busy when they actually are being productive towards a goal. Being busy doesn't mean you just run around doing nothing that's not towards nothing. But when you're productive, you're actually working towards that goal. So just try that this week, as follow through the week and for your lifetime.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I got these 2 P's, and he just confirmed it. Always believe in confirmation. I always tell anybody that I deal with, always the 2 P's is being positive and productive. If it ain't productive, it don't work.
That's right.
Right, well, thank you,
Right.
everybody.
We
Let's give
thank
them a round of
you.
applause. Let's
Thank
give them a round of
you.
applause.
Lisa, Malik, Chad, and Batty Boy. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll take a break now.
We're going to break.
Push it Give me that time one more time, baby. Come on. Here we go.
I look you dead so deep in your eyes. I touch on you more and more every time. When you leave, I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2 or 3 times in a row. Such a funny thing for me to try to explain. How I'm feeling and my pride's the one to blame. Yeah, cause I know you don't understand. This how things up and you and no one else can. I need to so crazy right now, you know. I need to so crazy right now. I be hoping you take me right now, you kidding. I be hoping you take me right now. I need to so crazy right now, you know. I need to so crazy right now. So crazy in love. So crazy in love.
Watch your drink, baby. Watch your drink, this lady. We don't want you to spill your drink down front, baby. That's all. Who needs honey? Who don't need honey? Get a hit out of self. Give me this one more time, baby. What's up, bounce? Lights up. Yeah.
When I talk to my friends so quietly,
Who you think he is?
tennis shoes don't even need to buy a new dress. You ain't there, ain't nobody else to impress. The way that I know that my love's for you, it's the beat that my heart keeps when I'm with you. Cause I still won't understand just how things up and you and no one else can. I mean, this is crazy right now. I mean, this is crazy right now. I mean, hoping you take me right now. I mean, hoping you take me right now. I mean, this is crazy right now. I mean, this is crazy right now. This is crazy love. I mean, this is crazy love.
What's up, Chuck?
Hey, PJ, you looking so crazy right now. Yeah. Ooh, and you looking so crazy right now. Come on.
Yeah, we say happy birthday to you.
Bobby looking so crazy right now. Come on.
Let you tell me we said happy birthday to you.
So crazy right now. Yeah, Bobby looking so crazy right now. Looking high. Hey, you trick.
Say what? Say what?
Looking so crazy right now.
What?
And very farmers. What? Looking so crazy right now.
What?
My man drunk head. Bobby looking so crazy right now. Yeah, very.
Give this one more time, y'all.
When I talk to my friends so quietly,
Who do you think he is?
look at what you did to me. Tennis shoes don't even need to buy new dress. You ain't there, ain't nobody else to impress. It's the way that I know that my love for you. It's the beat that my heart keeps when I'm with you. Cause I still don't understand just how his love can do what no one else can. I mean, it's so crazy right now. It's so crazy right now. I hope you get me right now. I hope you get me right now. It's so crazy right now. It's so crazy right now. It's so
Well, yeah, Willie. Give that top one more time, baby. Let's get it going. Here we go. Let's get it poppin' up here. We got some next
That's the 1, 2. That's the 1, 2.
Get a little bit, come back with the roll.
One, two. We get ready to start the second half. I need all the panelists in the chairs in the front. We about to start the second half. I need all the panelists in the front. We about to start the second half. One, two, we about to start the second half. I need all the panelists to be in the front.
Crowd again.
Everybody that's on the second half, I need you in the front. I need your space cleared out so we can have them start the second half, y'all. We only got a limited amount of time. I know we on black people time. I know. Don't beat me up. If you on the second half, please come to the front. Everybody that's on the second half, please come to the front.
We have Mr. Crank and Lavelle up here patiently waiting. And then we have Tamika. Who are we missing? Okay. I know some people were heading out here. We're missing someone. Oh, Warren. Where's Warren? Did he leave? Oh, Warren. Lisa's getting ready to leave here, so I got to get a picture. The lighting is down, but it turned out good. Okay, thank you. Love you. Okay. All right. Yeah, help yourself to some chicken. Hey, Badly boy. Okay, I'm here. Where do you want, man, where do you want this?
Whoever wants the mic right there. Right there.
Oh, okay. Let me put, okay.
Oh, I got the microphone. Countdown. 5, 4.
Okay, sorry. There we go. Okay. Oh. All right, so we're going to go back into our, are we good? We ready?
Second half.
Yeah, we're going into our second half of Stars of the DMV. We got some other stars sitting up here. We got from left to right, we have Warren Morris, we have Tamika Joy, we have Lavelle Long, and we have Crank Lucas. I thank you all for being on our show. This is a special edition, our 6th show, and I appreciate you all taking the time out of your busy schedules to grace us with your presence. So, like I would say, ladies first. If you all can kind of like tell a little bit about yourself, and we can just move from there.
Okay, so, that being said, my name again is Tamika Joy. Thank you guys for having me on the show tonight. I am a woman of many hats, as I always say. I'm a mother of 6, a wife, singer, songwriter. I have a nonprofit organization called Stars Performing Arts. And we also have an organization which is for profit. So we work with the youth in singing, dancing, fashion, acting. We also do different things in the community as far as different empowerment events with the women and the men. I pretty much do a lot of background for the last 15 years. I've been in the behind the scene, doing a lot of consulting, management, artist development, just pretty much been behind the scene because I have had a crazy experience as an artist. I was signed to 2 different labels that one was shelved The other one was pretty much blackballed. And I was in a relationship with someone that was in the music industry that pretty much didn't want me to go anywhere because I didn't want to be with them. The other one used to manage me, and when you tend to be with someone day in, day out, relationships, feelings get involved. So that person, one day as I'm waiting for the group Silk, because I was with them that night on New Year's Eve, sitting at Crystal City waiting for Silk to come out so we could take him to the airport, and they say to me, you know, we've been together, you know, day in, day out, and I have come to a situation where I have really drawn feelings for you, and at this point, if you do not marry me, I can no longer be a part of your career. And I had to make a ultimate decision then to say at 21, when they were 30, that I did not want to be a part of their situation because they were already married, for one. And for two, that's not what I signed up for. And so, with that being said, then got in a relationship with someone that was in the music industry. And everybody that I came in contact with, they pretty much blackballed me. They contacted them and gave them grief. They were like a Suge Knight in regards to making sure that I never made it in the music industry. So I took a back seat and I raised my kids, in which my daughter, at the age of 6, wanted to sing, and I said to myself, that is my why. I will not let her be, you know, subject of what I experienced. So I poured into her and still pour into her what I have learned and have helped her, guide her, support her along the way. She's 17, and over this weekend, Saturday, she was actually on a placement on a BET premiere movie, Angrily Ever After, which Mr. Malik had she just actually dropped a single with a group called the Capital Kids, in which I helped manage at one point with Shorty Coleon from Rare Essence. So it's just been a trying tribulation for me. I still, like I said, I dibble and I dabble, I write and help people along the way. That is I think it's a downfall for me, because my heart is so giving. And a lot of people always say, T, won't you help you? Like, you keep helping everybody else. Like, help you. And so it has been that I, you know, because I have, like I said, a nonprofit organization. And this Saturday, actually, we're doing our No Bully Fun Festival for the kids and the youth. It's a free event. The kids can come out and have a nice free time, foot bully free. Popcorn, snow cones, cotton candy, entertainment, speakers, and just a nice event where the kids can just be safe, where we're pledging, the kids will be pledging against no bullying. So, you know, my plate is full, but I'm up for it. I'm up for the challenge. I thank God for all the obstacles that I have had gone through, because I know that in order for you to be someone great, you got to have a story. So
that's right.
That is me in a nutshell.
And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your motivation for starting this this festival. Last year she did a walk because her daughter was bullied in Virginia, and that inspired her to start these events. And me, I am tired of seeing our children in the news committing suicide for, you know, you know,
I gotta give my nieces a plug. Then my
we
nieces,
need them to perform
Touchy,
Saturday.
Monet, Gianna, and Zoe.
Saturday.
No bullying. They got books out. No bullying. You know what I'm saying? Over on YouTube.
Bring 'em out.
Over
They're very talented.
10,000 views.
Yes.
So y'all need to
talented.
go check them out on YouTube.
Yes.
Gianna and
Definitely.
Zoe.
Please bring them out.
Yes.
Yes.
Who's next? Who's next?
Mr. Warren.
Yeah, I'm trying to make my voice deeper, but it's okay.
Go ahead. You good. Go ahead. Keep on going.
Hello? Yes, my name is Warren Morris, and I'm the founder of M&M Management and Public Relations. And my why story is just like Tamika. I had opportunity of working with this beautiful soul over here, and we kind of talked and gave her daughter a platform last year prior to the Bully Walk to get on Fox to tell their story, so people can hear and understand what some of these kids are going through. And not only that, but, the trials and tribulations that you have to go through to try to be successful in any facet of life, whether it be entrepreneurship, just working every day, grinding. So, as a publicist and a manager, what I try to do is represent my clients in a way that, they don't have to go through some of these things that, Tamika went through. That's what I'm here for, to try to iron out and kind of figure out things so that talents like this have a platform. A lot of people have a misconception that because we're in D.C. and we don't have the platform such as in New York or in Atlanta or California, that you can't get yourself out there and live your dream or pursue yourself as an actor, actress, or, anything, nonprofit. So I just try to give, through my resources and things that I've developed over the course of my tenure, I try to use those to help others build them a platform. I started off, I was a child actor from like 6 years old, so had a good run with that. But in my family, it was all about education, so I had to get to a point where my parents were like, you have to decide. And my parents invested a lot in me, so I decided to go the education route, but it doesn't mean that I can't give back to what I'm doing now. So I try to give other people a platform to try to them to live their dreams and continue to do it. So thank you for coming out, and Trina, really, really appreciate you for giving us the opportunity as well.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Oh. Should say go. Should say go.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Lavelle Long.
Hey, Lavelle. Lavelle.
Yeah, my story is a little different. My why is I do it for the dudes behind the wall. I've been incarcerated. I came home on a mission, and I set my city on fire. My first thing was to do was come home and just set my city on fire, and it grew to something bigger than that. I was incarcerated. I was a drug dealer. Had a long stint in the business. Finally caught up with me. Did my time, paid my debt to society. But while I was in there, I met a young kid, and I'm what you call an OG, a real OG. Like a lot of people use that term loosely, and they not an OG. They don't have no street smarts. They can identify with the kids that I can identify with. And for that, a lot of people run organizations here that can't identify with the kids. They need guys like me that can identify with these kids. My why is for the youngers out there that, have talent, but they put in different circumstances. Maybe they don't have a mother, maybe they don't have a father, maybe they have a mother on drugs, and they had to raise themselves. I was one of those kids. I'm from Ward 8, and I just wanted to come back home after making my mistake, because I always had it in me, but it's just that, when you in the street life, that money, that fast money and cars and women, it takes up your time. So once I did my time, I listened to God, because there's several things I didn't have when I went in prison. One of it, I didn't have a religion. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a wife, and I didn't have time to think, because I stepped off the porch at 14 years old, and I didn't get caught till I was 39. So all that time I was running. So it gave me time to sit back and think, read 2 biblicals. I read the Bible and I read the Quran, made my decision, and I knew I couldn't come back home to do the same thing I was doing before, because, you know, the dope game is a young man's game. So with that, I sat back and said, what can I do? I met a young DC, Washington, D.C. I met a kid.
Give him that. Give him yours.
Yeah, I met a kid from Washington, D.C. Ain't no better. I met a kid from Washington, D.C., and we sat down and we wrote this play called The Giz. I sold out to MGM.
Good stuff.
We made history. We didn't only just sell it out, but we can say this. We put the stepping stone for Tyler Perry at the MGM.
Wow.
No one in all the MGM properties across the world have done a stage play. We was the first ones to break the MGM theater. We the first white, black, Mexican, Chinese. We was the first. Not only the first, we sold it out, which they bet that we wouldn't sell it out because it was put around go-go. So once that happened, that's when a lot of other things start dropping. And after that, you know, I kind of knew that the Giz would be big, but the things I didn't count, that I would become a mentor. I got a government job without even putting an application in. They called me up and said, I need you. I won 3 awards. I won 1 national award. I won 2 locals awards. And like I said again, my life is starting to shape up as a mentor. I'm working with the youth advocacy program over there in D.C. Just today, my life is going so crazy. I'm so busy. Just today, they had a big summit called the Unite Summit, and they had all the big dogs there. And they got up there, and they started talking about me. I'm like, wow. So that was mighty big for me. Like I said again, my whole mission is doing it for the guys behind the wall, because what people don't know, you got some of the smartest guys behind the wall. That's right. So I'm telling y'all facts. Like, these guys take the stuff, we so limited what we can't have that we have to make a way to survive in it. So I met some of the smartest guys. So my whole mission was to come home and show them guys back then and all the troubled kids that once you get a second chance, take advantage of it. So I'm on my second chance, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm kicking them in their ass.
That's good.
So you know, that's my story. I guess we can get more into it later. But my man Crank Luke is right here.
It wasn't working at first. I was just tapping this jump for the last 15 minutes. I was like, I hope they hurry up and finish their story. I was just playing. My name is Crank Lucas. I love your story. I love your tiara. You're a beautiful soul and a beautiful person. You look like one of my aunties. You know how to cook, don't you? Okay, cool. What is this? My wife?
You and your wife.
Me and my wife.
Yes.
All right. Well, I can cuss, right? Because I cuss a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
Let me take a sip of my liquor right quick. I'm not gonna keep y'all long. I'm not like these other people. I'm not gonna be up here for 7 minutes talking about what's going on in my life. This is gonna be 1 minute and 30 seconds at the most. I'm just fucking around with y'all. I appreciate this. I love this. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I'm a rapper. I'm a producer, which I branded as a rap deucer. Engineer from this area. I am 33 years old. I'm a Capricorn. I'm single. I don't have no kids that I know about. Hold up.
That's the wrong show. Wrong show.
This is how I'm about to get the whole room. I grew up in Steve Young Church. Anybody who know you, Steve Young Church? Yeah. Y'all, you know, yeah. Ratchetness all the way around the board. But that means that I was raised in the word. All of that to say, that's kind of my background and everything. So I do viral, I'm a content creator. Do YouTube videos, Facebook, Instagram videos. As I said, I'm an artist, but I also do comedy skits. And I have over 1 million followers online. That's beside the point. The point is on that. What's that? YouTube? Exactly. Go on my Facebook, you see another 500. Then go on my Instagram, you're going to see 154. God damn it. Fuck you talking about? Respect my following. All right? Because I worked hard for that following. And that 500 is more, huh?
You good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Crank Lou is.
I'm a rapper, but like I'm actually like good at rapping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a rumble rapper. I'm not a mumble rapper. I'm drunk, so don't pay me no mind. I'm not a mumble rapper, but I can actually like I got bars and all this, and I be speaking about things that's going on actually in the world. But outside of that, the skits and everything that I put together, it's a lot of social commentary in it. It's a lot of subtext in it. So I merge comedy and music together in a very creative way that has opened up a lot of doors for me and has also allowed me the opportunity to promote the DMV culture to the entire world. I got a worldwide fan base of people. I'm not bragging. It sounds like I'm bragging. I am kind of bragging, but basically what I'm saying is the entire world is now in tune with what we have going on here. And that's part of I have a lot of whys. This entire time that y'all been doing this, I've been sitting here thinking, what is my why? Not that I don't know my why, but I have so many whys that I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to say in front of these people because they judging me. Exactly. Ain't nobody judging me, right? We all family, right?
Yes. Awesome.
All right, then. So let's act more like family. That's another one of my whys. We need to be more of a community. Yes. I just came from LA, okay? And I shot with a bunch of content creators out there, people I've been watching all year that I'm super huge fans of. They're funny as shit. They know who I am, but all these people work together. No hating, no egos, no. They got 100-something thousand followers. They don't care if you got 13,000. They don't care if you got 1,300. If you talented, they gonna work with you. That's what it's about. It's the community thing, right? So that's my why on this stage tonight is the fact that.
One clap.
Thank you. One clap. One person clapping, but that was 7 claps. Listen, and people ask me all the time, they're like, what's it gonna take for the DMV? And I just laugh. I'm like, DMV not going to get on as long as we have this mentality that we have. This is a big-ass talent pool, and everybody moves somewhere else to expose their talents. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. But at the end of the day, if we can take the actual area that the talent pool is from and create a situation to where we can expose it to the entire world, what the fuck we waiting on? That's what I say, okay? So that's pretty much one of my whys. One of my main whys why I'm here, even why I'm here tonight, is the fact that everybody on this panel, everybody that's been up here, and everybody that's in this room, I've been talking to a couple of y'all in this room, nobody in this room is unimportant. I don't think there's nobody in this room that don't got something going on. And whatever it is that you have going on, we have to assimilate, I know my SAT words, and figure out a way to take this to the next level. Now, it's a lot of work that goes into that, but as far as just understanding and having that mind frame of this is a big-ass area of talent, and we can really do things on our own if we work together, that's cool. All that sounds like real kumbaya-ish and real elementary school and real gay, but it's real shit. It sounds cliche, but it's the real thing. Work with somebody. Goddamn it. Why you ain't working with somebody? You are? Okay. Why you ain't working with somebody? You are? Okay. Why you ain't working with somebody?
Okay. It's already.
Why you ain't working with somebody? Exactly. That's my whole point. Everybody in here is working with somebody. Exactly. So teach your kids. Teach your nieces and nephews. Teach your cousins. I don't care if your cousin can't rap. Teach that motherfucker how to work with somebody in this area to bring things together, because it's strength in numbers.
My man in the back.
Am I lying?
He said, "Nah, you right." And I'm glad you said that, because that's a good pivoting point for real. So
Segue.
I wanted to say something, but I wanted
exactly.
to piggyback off of what he said.
I'm gonna throw. I'm gonna shoot it right to you. You know,
assist.
So how to do it? Like bang, 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 pow, like that. You gotta catch it when I throw it, right? So, so what I would say is that bang, bang, train it, go. See, she dropped the ball.
She wasn't even ready.
She wasn't even ready.
Yeah, I thought
She wasn't even ready. She just dropped the ball.
say something profound like he usually does, you know. But I'm glad you touched on that point, because this is my whole reason for having this idea for this show. I'm not from the DMV, but I've experienced some stuff. You and I have talked, you know, and people just aren't working together like they should, you know. And I just wanted to know, like with the panel, like kind of some of the things you all went through to get where you are. All of you all work.
How much time you got?
With each other.
Right, yeah.
None of y'all ever given me any shade. All of you all have been willing to work together, no matter if you know me or not, or, you know, all genuine. So that's why, you know, I want to know. That's why I'm glad you said what you said, because there's a big issue here in the DMV. There's a lot of crabs in a barrel. And it's a lot of great people here, but it's a lot of not so great people here. Right. You know.
I just want to. I'm gonna keep this brief, but I will interject. Well, not interject, but I'm gonna answer your question. I do consultations. I do music and social media branding consultations. Anybody wants to learn how to get their social media together, come holler at me, please, ASAP, because that's what pays my rent. But one of the things I've learned is that, first and foremost, it's not just DMV. It's everywhere. Okay? Everywhere not named Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, or Atlanta. It's the same. And even in those cities, it's the same exact thing. A lot of talented people, but they don't know how to work together, and they don't work together enough to get to that next level. And a lot of that is social programming, and, you know, we black, so the man done fucked us up and had us competing against each other, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not whatever, like it doesn't exist. It does exist, but I'm trying to get past that point. But the point that I'm making is, outside of that, what we have to realize is the resources. There's not a lot of resources, at least entertainment-wise, out here, because this is a political area. People leave here, they go to Atlanta, they go to New York, they go to LA, they pursue their dreams. Some of them make it, a lot of them don't. But we have enough people to where if we can do an event like this, we can do an event where we're bringing people out that actually wants to see the talent pool that's out here. And there's an industry that has proven that point called go-go time and time again. Now, people want to come out and see go-go bands. I think that in order for people outside of go-go, just everybody to kind of get that same type of success, I'm drunk as shit. Everybody to get that same type of success, we have to be more creative in the way that everything in marketing and everything is about creativity. That's what I do. So what I did is I started doing skits, and I started doing skits because I figured out a long time ago that putting music and videos online gets it seen a lot faster versus you just saying, hey, this is my song, listen to it. No, you want a visual connected to it. And the best example of that I can give is the Thriller video. Nobody took music videos seriously until Michael fucking Jackson said, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to be a zombie and a werewolf and dance with dead zombies and put a soundtrack to it and dance and motherfuckers going to fuck. And they was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
You said what? And Lola Ray. Ola Ray. Shout outs to Ola Ray. Jim Brown used to beat her ass. Oh my God.
So look. Let me say this real quick, right? Because I want to get everybody involved in this, right? So basically, we want to see All right, so how do we change the culture? I want you to say what you're going to say, but how do we change that culture? You know, I want to hear everybody on that particular thing.
All right, so let me say this. I'm going to give y'all OG this because, you know, this new stuff, yeah. So what's different about me and the crabs in the city is you got to understand, like with me, I was successful before social media. So a lot of the social media stuff is just luck, right? So what could you do without social media? So I was successful before social media. So I knew when I came home with social media it was going to be a breeze, right? So what goes on in D.C. as far as crabs in the barrel? I guarantee you, everybody in this room, when you're from Washington, D.C., 1 out of 5 people you know, they know me. We small, so we get cliquish. And the thing about it is, the people that's really having a little success, that's because, you know, their people is supporting them. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to tell you why the city is so, we can't get further, because the people that have real talent, like I can sit around do an interview with everybody, but I know who don't have talent, and I know who just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and I can sit there and tell you why, because I was here before social media. I'm going to be here after social media. So at the end of the day, certain people know that you're creative. Certain people know you can do what you want to do. But they will block you. They will talk bad about you. And, you know, we have a bunch of people in D.C. that's clickers that they're going to listen. They don't think for themselves. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? They don't think for themselves. Do you think guys backed me up with the first go-go play? They didn't. Go-go didn't back me up. They started backing me up once they sold out. And that's just the truth. I never talked too much about the gig, but I didn't have backing from the go-go community. A lot of them thought that, okay, you can't do it without me. But if they knew my history, they should have known I could. But they came on after they knew I sold out. You know what I'm saying? So DC do have a lot of talent. And I tell people this. Only thing DC doesn't have, DC don't have a backer that believes in the city. It's like a lot of people that get the money, they leave. So I always say, with $1 million, I guarantee I can get this city on. Because at the end of the day, you just got to put your money where your mouth is. We had the backer, like Touchy and them showed that when they did the BET Awards. But they don't come here. I don't even say Touchy, it was the other lady. What's her name? Regina, I give it to her. Regina Hall. Yeah, not Touchy, I don't give it to Touchy. I give it to Regina. You know what I'm saying? But Touchy, she come back, but they have the money. You know, they got the money to really put the city on and the know-how. You know, so, you know, our city, man, I'm going to be honest, we dick ride so hard for, like, difference. Like, when the social media, when Snoop Dogg came in town, these niggas went crazy. Snoop Dogg is from L.A. Yeah, he listened to the music, but he don't live it. But if you have a guy like me that's 3 generations in D.C., come home from prison, saying, hey, I'm going to do this play. You ain't going to put me on the social media. You ain't going to share none of my stuff. You ain't going to back me up. But the dude from L.A., wherever you from, come here, and he just listened to the song and say, I like go-go. Y'all go crazy when he come in town. We got our priorities messed up. That's just plain and simple. And that's why guys like me, you know, they don't really want me in the room because I'm very transparent. They all know I'm not scared. So at the end of the day, it's just basically a bunch of dudes that they never had money before, and they just chasing the money. So whatever everybody on, they gonna be on because they think that's where the money at. Where I'm different. You know, I done seen the money, I done had the money. It doesn't impress me. You know what I'm saying? And I do know that there's hidden talent. But the reason why we have a crab in the barrel, once again, is because we ourselves look at outside people and bring the outside crooks in and don't even, and the outside crooks, out of town crooks that come here, they deal with the local crooks. And we can't get on because, you know, they don't have the right person in the position. But I have a couple of things coming on, and I promise y'all, when they come my way, I'm going to show them.
Yeah, let me piggyback on what LaBelle was saying, because this is one of my clients as well, and we just had a very successful play, and I'm not going to mention because I can't mention, but we had 2 different radio stations, and we had 2 different outcomes. So, thing is, one of them, it was just, love. It was, we know you're not Tyler Perry. You don't have millions of dollars to, fund advertisement and all this stuff. We're trying to look out for businesses that are trying to look out for the city. Whereas the other one, we went in there, we still dropped a, pretty decent amount, but they're big time. So it's like, okay, well, it's still nothing. And we got treated accordingly. So we had to go and pull out resources, and the very person that they said we couldn't interview with because we didn't give them enough money, through our resources, we got it done for free. So piggybacking on what both of these gentlemen were saying, again, it's support. The little people are the ones that need the opportunities, not the big people. You know what I mean? And it's like when you go to these places, they already want you to be big and established before they even paying attention to you. But how are you going to get big and established unless you give me the opportunity to get big and established? So that's part of the problem as well.
Yeah, well, I'm not politically correct as Warren. 95.5 showed us big love. Motherfucker, 102.3, that radio one shit. I've been wanting to get an interview. I thought I should have had an interview with Donnie when I first came out. Like, I've been on every publication, but I could not get an interview with Donnie. So we put out the money. I'm talking, we spend over tens of thousands of dollars on radio. 95, we can walk in there and get coffee, donuts, McDonald's. They love us. But every time we go to 102.3, they can't do nothing. Like, I guess our little money compared to them big, it's not worth it. And see, that's the thing about it. If nobody will never speak out about it, and I'll take the hit. My company take the hit. I'll take the hit. But they treat you like shit. You know what I'm saying? And I got to sit back. I be ready want to make some calls and get shit roughed up.
Oh,
but
hey, he said but, see?
But I said, I'm a changed man. But at the end of the day,
See what I'm saying? Yeah. See what I'm saying?
And I'm on parole, so that what it is. And I'm on parole. But they
all right, I'm gonna head out.
I'm on parole. They know what it is. They know who I am. And when I get platforms like this, like I said again, like he said, we put this money up. We put a large amount of money up, just like the big dogs do. And we couldn't get an interview with Donnie Simpson. We had to go through our resources, homeboys, this, that. And then we get a call back. Donnie having y'all on the show this evening.
And showed us love.
Big love. Big love. So you got to go through the streets. This corporation, the big dog, they not going to do it for you. You got to go to the streets and get it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, at the end of the day, my main thing for anybody in this room that I've learned since I've been doing this, don't take the word no.
That's right.
That's good.
I don't take no for no answer.
Yep.
Say something.
Yep.
What you were saying, because I always iterate this to a lot of people about networking and your finances. I always say money doesn't mean nothing to me. My network is what's most important to me.
Yep. That's right.
And that's exactly that's what DC Black Broadway is being built on. It's a network, and the people in my city. I'm a little different. Like a lot of people say, you gotta leave here to get love, but I got love off my first break because of the grind and me getting in the streets and walking door to door and talking to people. And I used the internet, but I did most of walking and talking. So when you get back to that grassroots group promoting, the people they're gonna deal with you. But like he said, it's definitely about networking. Like, I'm everywhere when I'm networking. So 102.3 or these big dogs, they can't stop my flow. I'm not gonna allow them to. Because as long as the people buy it, I'm gonna be irrelevant. So that's just it. Don't take the word no. When they tell you no, just keep on going.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, he got a question over there. You gonna say something?
Yeah.
No, I had a question. My question was to what you were saying. Everything you saying, I agree 1,000%. But my question is, You say you try to reach out to Donnie Simpson. Who gives a fuck about Donnie Simpson, nigga? We can do this shit our fucking selves. Like, we don't need these niggas. Like, bruh, at the end of the motherfucking day, these people is either going to say, like you said, yes and no, and you don't take no for an answer, right? So it might be Donnie Simpson, it might be Barack Obama, it might be Martin Lawrence, it might be Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck. I am going to do what the... Listen, when Monique said boycott Netflix, first I was like, fuck no, because that's how I get half my ass in my life is putting Netflix on. Secondly, why y'all laughing? Secondly, if you're Monique, put yourself in Monique's shoes. She was on the Queens of Comedy. She had the Parkers. She had all these different situations on TV. Like, bitch, you can put your own shit together. You don't need fucking that. That's what I'm saying. We don't need these niggas. We can do shit ourselves. It might not be on that level, but we can do shit ourselves with the amount of capital that we have. We might not be at goddamn Lincoln Theater. We might be at Red Lounge doing some shit, but we're going to be at some venue putting something together where people are spending money if we promote it the right way and put the shit in. Now, to his point and to his credit, this man has done big shit. He's on a whole nother level than what I'm even talking about. So he don't need a fucking Donnie Simpson or whoever the fuck.
Yeah, but let me say this, little homie. Let me tell you something. Like, I would say, forget Donnie Simpson if that's what he presented to you. But see, it's people around people that make the people bad, right? So I'm smart enough to know. I've been in the streets, so I'm smart enough to know that. Because this person tell me something, that don't mean what they think. So, like I said, when we met Donnie Simpson, like I heard all this stuff, like he's scared of his wife and all this. I heard a lot of stuff about Donnie. But when I met him, he's not scared of his wife. He was wide open with us. Man, he's going to probably be in the next Giz. He was even shocked when I said, hey, we've been trying to get in touch with you. He like, but so many people was trying to block me. Mm-hmm. So therefore, and he's really a cool dude. Because right now, somebody might be trying to block somebody to meet me.
That's right.
And I don't want nobody to say, man, I don't need that nigga Lavelle alone, because get to know me first and then make that decision.
Exactly.
Right. So I was fortunate to meet Monique. I was fortunate to meet her. This gives them put me around a lot of people. So I was fortunate to meet Monique. And actually, I ain't even talked about that yet. But I was actually to meet Monique. And we talking about, I'm about to write a play for her. So my network is good. Another thing I got to mention, because I'm a convicted felon. I only went to the 12th grade. I graduated. Been in the streets all my life. Now I'm being honored to be a doctor, get a doctor's associate.
Congratulations, doctor.
So, and the amazing thing about this is when I get to finish tell my story in a big way, is I didn't go to school for this. I got called Sunday night after I met Monique and said, hey, we put your name in the ring for this honor. I'm like, y'all stop playing. But actually, I'm being considered, and maybe I will graduate. I didn't go to college or nothing. I will be graduating in January with a doctor's associate, and that's how God works. Yeah. So, just like I said, even with Crank, I got Crank gonna be in one of my plays. But the thing about it is that we all need somebody.
Yes.
We all need somebody, and I'm learning through where I'm going now that it is possible. Like, I never thought I thought I was gonna die being a drug dealer. That was just my life. I had a lot of success in it, but man, this new life, and I tell people, God locked me up to free me.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that's just, yeah.
Yeah, tell them again. That's what. Yeah.
That's right.
So that's exactly what happened.
You got some gospel music over there that we can play right quick?
Yeah.
Some organs or something, some shouting music.
Yeah.
So, we have Warren here, which is my publicist. We have Tamika Joy. She's been in my play, The Gig. She didn't mention it.
She about to say something else.
I was going to say in
Yeah.
regards to, talking about, just the cliquish type of situations, I was going to piggyback off of that because, I was on the Giz. I was fortunate to meet Lavelle, and I actually came into the audition for the Giz for my kids, for the Capital Kids that I was managing, my daughter was in, and have them be a part of the Munchkins. And so I wasn't even looking for that role. However, Lavelle and I
ran her down.
And then I actually reached out to him again in regards to him being actually a friend of mine that was looking, she has a dance company, and she wanted me to actually reach out to him to see if they needed some more Munchkins. So I reached out to him again and was like, hey, Lavelle, you have any more slots for the Munchkins? And he's like, no, we are full, but you want to be the good witch of Georgetown? And I'm like, so I'm always, like I said, looking out for somebody else and not even necessarily looking out for myself. And that situation came to hand, and I was graced with the opportunity to sell out at the MGM as the good witch of Georgetown.
Congrats.
And she been modest because she came to the audition. She had this big blonde hair, and I said, she a celebrity. I chased her down because I believe in when I know I see talent, I want to bring it to the light. Just like with Crank Lucas, I say, man, we got to work together.
And can I interject right there with that?
Yeah.
Again, that goes back to what I was saying. You came up with something creative. It's like, we're going to do this, and we're going to take, and at the same time, you took our culture and put it on that plateau. It's like, okay, we're going to do this, but we're going to make it our shit. That's what I'm preach to people at the end of the day. It's like, whatever it is that you do, we can sit here and complain about support and all that all day, but at the end of the day, as long as what you doing, you're in your best creative space and you're being the best version of yourself, not just the best version of yourself, but the best version of your brand, you're going to thrive and survive. And if you don't, then it just wasn't meant to be. But as long as you live in your purpose, it's going to happen. So you gotta just be creative and come up with something. When I first seen the Giz, I was like, yo, this shit is dope as shit. Why the fuck am I not a part of it? And then I ran into this man after it was done. And me and him fought for 25 minutes. I won. That was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So I mean, like I've been watching. I watch everything on social media. Like I'll be up 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and like what Tamika don't understand. None of this stuff can happen without people, right? So I feel blessed that I get all the rewards for it, but I tell people this every day. It's not even me because I can't write it without a Tamika Joy. Because when I wrote The Witch of Georgetown, it was a pretty, beautiful voice, lady of joy, and she fit that character. So when I wrote the Candy Lady, people say, you crazy to put Trina Boo. No. When I wrote the Candy Lady, it was for Trina Boo. You see what I'm saying? So it's not, I cannot do it just like the play I got a play coming up called Chocolate City Records. He's playing a preacher. When I saw his character, I actually took it's because it's cool. What people don't understand, it's cool to copycat. White people get rich off of copycat shit. So it's cool to copycat. Just put your twist on it. Mm-hmm. So I saw him playing a preacher. That gave me a form to say, hey, I'm gonna write a preacher part in my next movie because of him. So it's not, I take the part of the your genius, but I take stuff from everyone and I look at him and I just bring it to life. That's what I do. I even got a part for my manager, Warren.
Nice.
I got a part for him. So
y'all ain't ready.
If I study anyone in this room, I guarantee I can write something for you with it.
I'm sure. And that's pure talent. And again, it's an honor for you to be here. And thank you. Actually, Tamika had reached out to you and you came. Tamika has given me an opportunity to manage her new band with this lovely lady Sherelle in the back. She has a beautiful voice. Will Conaway is not here, but they're putting together like a Lucy Pearl, and I'm just honored that she, offered me that position. I'm honored that Tony asked me to be on his panel, and now we have the show. I'm honored they offered me, Marcus and Wilbur offered me a show. So it's all about working together. I see those things in people, and I'm glad people see certain things in me, and allow and gift me with these opportunities to do certain things. So I'm thankful.
So that I'm thankful for you too, right? It's
Yes.
a street of love, so I got to give her some love, right? But truly, like for real, so we definitely gonna give some questions to the audience real quick before we have to wrap it up. But also too, like after we do, we do workshops and things of that nature in other settings, whatever. So what's our takeaway tonight? So basically, when you come to something and you want to find out what's your takeaway, So basically, from this session right here, what our takeaway is that we realize that for real, things don't happen. You need a network. You need people to make them happen. So because of that, when you connect to the right people, when the right people have the right motives behind why you're connecting, you can see so much more come to pass. And even when somebody else say no, guess what? Don't stop there like the man said, because it might be a yes at the next door you knock on. You feel me? So that's our takeaway today.
Yes, that's true. Yes, thank you.
Questions from the
Any questions for the audience? We need a. You got the mic.
All right. My question is for Lavelle. I'm not sure if you work with Till 2 Creates in Mira Bowles' office. They have their initiative. Tell me, what has your experience, if you work with them, what has your experience been since you are the leading person that's doing DCE black stage plays?
Woo! Yeah, y'all better get hell with that.
Let him put the fire out. Let him put the fire out. Let him put the fire out.
I gotta step up my publicist.
I got my own experience. I just want to hear it.
We gonna say that.
Hey, we in trouble. We know. Look. Hey, we're gonna leave it with this. It's been a road. We are in process of meeting with them shortly. Some other things. But it's been some trials and tribulations, and I'm just going to leave it like that. But hopefully, again, there's a yes at the end of the tunnel.
Don't throw anybody under the bus.
I'm gonna say this, man. I'd have been in every door in D.C. It's not. They all know who I am. I'm talking literally. They know I fought for that gig. They know who, and I keep on banging them. I keep on banging them with new content every 2, 3, 4 times a year, and we got a call, and they want to sit down and talk with us, but it was a rough road. It was a really, really rough road, man. When everybody's telling them like they don't want to hear a convict, you know what I'm saying? They clean up, say return to city. They don't want to hear a convict with a successful story.
I mean,
It's not even that. I think it's just they have they have what it is that they want in mind. Like I experienced that with Angry Ever After, even with going to the release of this private screening with BET, and the whole soundtrack when it came on to BET on the actual TV show was completely different. Like that whole go-go, they took most of it out.
They cut a record scenes too, you know that, right?
They took scenes out. They took the go-go out, but they showed us at the private screening because they wanted us to really, promote it. But when they showed it, they shorted us, and I'm just like, why? Why would you actually do that for something that you was able to? You shot it in DC. The whole actual movie was shot in DC. Why would you take away the culture?
Let me answer that question for you. Did you see who the executive producer was?
Yeah.
Do you know who Connie Orlando is? Oh, okay. So she's the reason why it even happened. So she made the call at the end of the day.
Right, which is what I'm saying. So the yes man and the yes boy, you know what I'm saying,
what you want to do. At the
Yeah,
end of the
so
day.
so that's one thing you don't have to worry about me. Like people never had money, so when people are hungry, they're gonna do what they gotta do to make it.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Me,
Yes, sir.
the bag. I done seen it several times. My kids are proud of me, and my mother proud of me. But you gotta stand for something. That's why right now, I would like to say I got some of the hottest content in the Washington D.C. area. But because I won't back down, it's gonna take me the long road.
That's it.
And they know that.
It's all right.
So at the end of the day, yeah, it's gonna show. And they tried, and see, I'm gonna talk about the gears one day, but okay, let me say this: the people here at the MGM did not accept the gears. That is the truth. They did not accept the gears. I had to go to Vegas to get the gears accepted here. Like people don't understand. I had to get in Vegas here to get them here. So at the end of the day, people don't like go-go. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't stand for it, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say some people catch a break because they gonna water their shit down. I'm not. So it'll take a longer time. But let me say this before we go. I just wrote a play. If anybody familiar with the Golden Girls, I wrote a play, and it's gonna be the Black Golden Girls.
Yes. Looking
So
forward
that's
to
going
that.
on October the 20th. Like I
That's a
say,
good
I
one.
got content, man, out of the. But this play right here, it's a dinner theater.
Yeah, it's the Carlisle Club.
It's with the Carlisle Club, and it's the Black Golden Girls. If y'all,
Good food, good food.
this is gonna be off the chain.
Yes.
Oh, no. She has a question. I'm going to let it go. We're going to talk offline. All right.
My question. Hello, test 1 2. Okay, so my question is going back to community, and how do we, as a culture, get our communities in order? I'm a believer in each one reach one philosophy, but you don't hear a lot about the reaching out. Okay, if you're going somewhere, you need to be grabbing somebody's hand and bringing them up with you, because you can't. Well, no man's an island, as you said earlier. You need some help. So how do we help ourselves to do better?
Okay, let me say this, because I was in a summit today, and I'm around a lot of people that have organizations. I'm a small dog in that point. I'm just getting in, and the day was breaking for me, because now people want to hear what I got to say. I come from Ward 8. I don't have a father. I done seen my mother raped. My mother's on drugs. I raised my brothers and sisters. So at the end of the day, what changed my life, even how I like the theater, it's two things that change a young man's life. And I tell every day, we have so many programs for women. I tell women, like, y'all teaching the young ladies how to be women. That is great. But who they going to marry? Because you're not putting the time into the black man. So they got to marry somebody. So if y'all getting them straight and not getting the young men straight, it's still going to be all balanced. So let me say what in my initiative, but it takes money. And I think a lot of people get this money from the people they not doing everything they can do. They taking that money and spending, getting cars and nice homes. But the way I changed me and my crew, when my story come up, my crew was about love. My crew wasn't about violence. We made a lot of money, right? But the one thing that drew us out of what made us grown men and mature, first, it was women. Because that's what drives every man, a woman. So if you put a nice woman, mature woman in front of a young man, she can make him a man. Second was, it was taking us out of the community. I took my crew, this is one, a lot of people say, why tell my story? Because I can tell you why my story is so different from all these other gangsters. First, I never snitched. Because most of the gangster stories out here, they snitched. Never snitched. Second of all, most of the gangster stories or hustler stories only was a 4-year span. If you look at all of them, it only was a 4-year span. Mine lasts over 26-some years. Third of all is that how many of them crews, I was 15 years old, I took my whole crew to Wall Street. We went to Wall Street, the Donald Trump building up there in New York. That's how we started. And what happened was, I had killers around me and everything. But when you take people out of the community to another community and let them see other cultures, something changed. And that's what all these programs are not doing. You got to take these young men out of the city, show them down south, show them L.A. You will see grown men that toting pistols get on a roller coaster and act like kids. But what we're doing is we'll take them to the American Museum that's right up the street. We'll give them some food, but they still staying in the community. Take these young men out. New York Film Academy, Toronto, Bahamas, and watch the change. Why? And it's even easier now because they love to get on that phone. So if you take them somewhere, they're going to get on that phone.
I agree. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I agree with him 1,000%. And that's what the Fresh program did. We like to get those individuals. Like I talked to guys and the young men and young women from Southeast. They don't even know where Northeast at. They just know Good Hope Road, MLK. But back to what the Queen was saying, the reason I believe, and what Frank Lewis was saying, is that we hate on each other. I got a nonprofit, right? That's my assistant director, Curtis, over there. Fresh, fully restoring every son's hope. We come from Romans 12:2. Be not conformed to this world, but renewed by the transforming of your minds. And we try to change the way people think, these young men and young women. I have people that's hating on me and don't even know I know it, because I got a father that looks out for me. If y'all know what I know, that's spiritual. And it comes back to me. And the people that's around me that's hating on me don't even know I know it. And that's the thing about it. But I'm protected. So that's why we can't progress, because don't nobody want to see the other person elevate.
Yeah, very, very true. I'm
Yeah,
sure we all have.
And let me just say, Lavelle's not up here just talking. He's living what he's doing. Prime example, you know, the big press one we had with Confessions. He had one of those young men up there at all the television stations seeing what we're doing, exposing them to things that they may not have never been exposed to. And, you know, he was standing up there, and within 10 minutes after we left, he was texting me, can you please send me a picture? You just never know the impact of getting them out of their environment has.
And they'll remember
so,
that
for the rest of their lives. I never commended you on that, Lavelle, but that was, you know, awesome, brother.
Yeah, they'll remember that. They'll remember for the rest of their lives. Well, this is a great discussion, but we are going to have to wrap it up. I would like, with my colleagues, you know, blessings to bring another episode or another session back of Stars in the DMV. I think this was very powerful. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I thank Marcus and Wilbur for coming from Baltimore up here to do this. This is I think this is very impactful. But thank you. I appreciate everyone for coming out. Our guests, you all are wonderful. Thank you. So, you know, just look out for the next one. You know, if we do it again, I hope we do. And everybody have a good night. I hope you all network. I'm big on networking, so I hope you all exchange information.
And so we give this to Trina because Curtis and I, we didn't have this idea, so we don't take the credibility. It came from Trina to get this out, what everybody is doing, because a lot of people don't know what's happening in the community and those that are being positively involved and impacting those that's out there. So now that we're networking, we also have to become a team. So for those who want to reach out, they got our page. You can contact us, and we'll get y'all to the right people so they can start networking with y'all so we can start making this positive impact.
Yes. Thank you. Curtis, you have anything
No.
to say?
Well, the only thing I had to say was we already know that Tuesday ain't just for tacos. It's also for chicken soup. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for everybody coming out, man.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, Stephen, likewise. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you. Warren. Hey, can I?
What's your name, baby? Hello, Shannon. What's your name, girl? Sweet Benita in here. Yeah, we got Lisa. Yeah, we know Sweet Lisa. Rock Road.